Wyatt Broski. Man, playing old PM.
Yeah.
You hear about Smash 5?
Yeah, I did.
What are we playing PM for, dude? It's got Ridley in it.
Fucking Ridley? Are you serious?
Woof.
Oh shit.
Alright, easy. And practicing some Smash 4.
Can't do that.
Well, I don't know why you're practicing Smash 4, you scrub. It's got Wavedashing in it.
What? Dude, what? Are you fucking serious?
Wavedash confirmed.
Wavedashing? Dude, no way.
Yeah, and more info every day. It actually looks a whole lot like Smash 4.
Oh, what? Really? Oh, shit, okay.
With Wolf.
What?
It has Wolf in it.
What? No fucking way, dude.
Ooh, get it. Sick combos, bro. You know if they confirmed nipple spiking in Smash 5 yet?
No, I don't know. Dude, have you seen any Keep Flaking gameplay yet?
No. Hey Siri, have they confirmed nipple spiking in Smash 5 yet?
Here's what I found on the web for if they confirmed nipples poking in Smash 5 yet.
Oh, it's just a lot of porn. I'll just look it up later.
Welcome, Trainers. Watts here. So as everybody knows, Smash 5, whew, shit dropped at E3. We've got a ton of new information. We got to see a bunch of gameplay of the game, a bunch of pros playing the game, so we got to see their take on it, their opinions, what they thought. It was just amazing. And one of the biggest takeaways, obviously, was all the new characters. Fucking hype. Holy shit. We've got fucking everybody back. We've got Wolf, we've got Pichu, we've got Young Link, we've got Ice Climbers, we got a whole plethora of characters. Every single character has ever been introduced in Smashes in this game, and we've got 2 new ones. We already knew about Inklings, but now we've got Ridley, and holy fucking shit, like, I did not see that one coming. A little salty about No Bomberman. We got that assist trophy. It's kind of like a stab in the heart, but it's okay because the game looks fucking amazing. Obviously, one of the biggest takeaways is that the game is much faster. Visibly, you can see it is a whole heck of a lot faster, which is really cool. It looks like maybe like if like melee is 3 times Smash 4 speed, then this looks like 2 times, I'd say. Really cool. So today in this video we're going to be talking about all the new mechanics, or all the reintroduced mechanics, or like everything that's like different from Smash 4, as Smash 4 is the closest game to this one. You can tell it's quite obvious that like a lot of just properties from Smash 4 are reintroduced into this game. So first up on these mechanics, let's address the elephant in the room. We've got fucking wave dashing in this game.
Air dodges they're different. You can, like in Melee, you know, angle your air dodge in like different directions and stuff. So wavelands are back. Currently I think they're way too slow. You can sort of use them, but the fact that you can't slide off from a platform with a waveland, you kind of like just stop immediately. So you know, like in Smash 4, if you have someone cornered at the ledge and you hit their shield and they can't get pushed down to the ledge, while in Melee, for example, they would. So it's the same thing there. You just stop, even if you have technically enough like waveland spacing to like get pushed off, you don't. Like the game just stops you. So I hope that gets improved, and wave dashing overall. I feel like if you make the game like slightly, you know, faster in terms of like the wave landing, wave dashes.
Just add wave dashing altogether, because they kind of added wave dashing, but like halfway through. Just add wave dashing completely. Okay. It's just a good mechanic in general. It's like wave dash is not gonna like make casuals not enjoy the game. It's just it's just a good mechanic, I think.
This game.
And then,
now, a lot of people online are saying like, no wave dashing, just wave landing, and like that's all it is. Let me give you a little refresher on what wave dashing is and what wave landing is, in case you don't know, in case you come from Smash 4, in case whatever. First of all, like I play all Smash games competitively, marginally. Like I've gone to some tournaments, but I'm not really that great. It's like I just know stuff. So I love Smash 4, I love Melee, I love Project Down. I don't love Brawl, but don't shoot me if you're a Brawl fan. But yeah, so wave landing is when you're falling back down and you use a wave dash to land. Or if like at the height of your jump you use a wave dash to land on a platform. So that's what wave landing is. So in this game you can kind of say that it's not complete wave dashing, because you have to jump according to Armada and Zero. They talked about this, that yes, they said there is wave dashing, but it's not entire wave dash, it's not full wave dashing. It's like you have to jump a certain distance before you can air dodge now. So like you can't immediately just like Melee wave dash, like immediately just slide across the stage. And apparently there's like some lag afterwards too. So very interesting on that part. It'd be interesting to see if like the air dodge diminishing returns effect applies to wave dashing as well. In addition to that, there's like wave landing looks like pretty decent. Armada was saying it's like something that can be used and will be used, but it's nothing broken like it was in Melee. And that brings us to obviously the fact that there's directional air dodging. So directional air dodging in this game is fucking awesome. As we found out in Brawl, it doesn't go hand in hand with wave dashing. Like in Brawl, there was directional air dodging but no wave dashing. But in this game there is wave dashing. It's just significantly toned down from what it was in Melee, which I think is cool. But wave dashing is like something that adds depth to the game that's very fun and isn't very hard to perform, and it's very fun and very adds a lot of depth to the game, which is really cool. So I would love to see them introduce like full wave dashing, but it's cool that it's there. So next, as I just mentioned, we've got the excessive rolling and excessive air dodging gives you diminishing returns. And if you didn't know, wave dashing is performed with an air dodge, so that's why I was saying it'd be interesting to see if this effect applies to wave dashing. I think that would be pretty cool, and then that would allow them to just introduce full wave dashing with it like not being OP whatsoever. And so what I found online is that the way it works is like with each one past like 6, you get diminishing returns. So it doesn't just like it isn't just a flat cut, like it's just significantly weaker immediately. It's like it goes slow, gradually down after 6. So apparently the speed of it and the invincibility that you get is lowered. Next up, while we're still on the topic of like Melee-esque mechanics, something that I think is really fucking cool that they did with this game that like really makes me happy is they basically introduced automatic out-canceling, because from what I've heard from pros who played the game, there is significantly less lag time on aerials landing lag. So yeah, when you land on the stage with an aerial, you experience landing lag. There are a certain amount of frames where you cannot act after that. So apparently they've cut it like in half. That's what people are saying. That's what it feels like. They've basically cut all aerial landing lag in half, which is fucking amazing, because that's basically an L cancel, but it's automatic, which I think is really, really freaking cool, because while that does technically lower the skill of the game, L canceling was never anything that was added depth to the game. It wasn't a skill that was very intricate or very important for the competitive scene. It was just something that you had to do all the time whenever you landed with an aerial. So it was kind of dumb. It was just unnecessary skill, that there were an unnecessary hiring of the skill cap for basically no reason. So I think that's really cool. Increase the speed of the game, make it feel more like that, because L canceling like makes the game faster, which feels fun. That was the only good thing about it. So just introducing automatic L canceling is amazing. I love that. Very cool change that they did there. Next, while we're still on the topic of Melee-esque feel, because obviously this game does sort of bridge that gap. It is way closer to Smash 4 than Melee, but it does go a little bit closer to Melee from Smash 4, which is cool. Bridge the gap between all players. I don't think any Smash 4 fans are going to be salty about that. It's still very much Smash 4. So we've got the increased hit stun and increased shield stun, which is pretty cool. It's like the increased shield stun is they tried to limit defensive options a ton in this game, which is crazy. I don't really know how I feel about that. Make sure to leave a comment below telling me how you feel about that. If you think it was they pushed aggressive play too much, or because they did make defensive options way weaker. So increased shield stun is one of those ways that they did that. In addition to that, we have increased hit stun, which is what I'm more interested in, because increased hit stun means more potential for combos, making it more melee-esque. One of the big reasons why in melee it's so combo heavy is because the hit stun is so high in that game. And in this game, you would imagine that would directly translate to way more combos, but they did this thing to kind of counteract it where they increased the knockback launch. So increased knockback launch means that it's harder to follow up on your hits. While they will be hit stun longer, they will go further away from you, so it's harder to follow up on them. So I think this is kind of a best of both worlds type thing. It's like there will be more combos for sure, but it will be less just you get it no matter what. It's less free or opposite of free flow. It's less flowcharty. It's more free flow. Like you have to kind of come up with a more creative solution, which I think is really cool. As long as there are still true combos and still really great combos, if they're free form, that would be really cool. As long as they're there, as long as they're present, but not flowcharty, that would be really interesting. So I think that's really cool. Now let's move on to the completely new stuff that we've never seen before. So one of the first things that I want to talk about is the fact that you can press jump and A simultaneously to immediately perform a short hop aerial. This is really cool because it means that it sort of lowers the skill of the game, but it doesn't take away any depth. It's like it just makes it easier. It makes it have more quality of life. Like you can just anybody can just do this now. It's very simple, and then just fast fall out of that. You don't have to like time precisely your attack after the jump, because that was a really big thing in Smash 4. It's like if you barely miss timing on your jump aerial fast fall or on your short hop aerial fast fall, it was like you can miss combos off of that. And one of the really interesting applications of this change is making it so easy for everybody and so straightforward is that you can, like, a lot of combos that were like very reliant on extreme precision, like Sheik's mono forward air, just forward air and forward air and forward air and forward air, that becomes a lot easier. It's like you can't really slip that up anymore as long as you're fast falling at the right time and jump attacking at the right time afterwards. That's the only chance that you get to mess that up. So that'll be that's a sort of indirect Sheik buff, which will be really interesting to see. I think Sheik gets benefited from a lot of these changes heavily, as do a lot of the other combo-focused fast characters, which is kind of unfortunate. I would like to see more push for the heavy characters, but giving everybody like this L cancel thing obviously does benefit them too, but I think like a lot of the times it'll benefit the fast characters even more. It's like it'll be really interesting to see how this pans out, but overall this is a nice quality of life change. Just taking away no depth but making it just easier for everybody is nice. Another really cool change that I haven't I have to get my hands in the game to like fully decide how I feel about this, but one of the changes that a lot of people are talking about that's pretty cool is the fact that perfect shielding is entirely different. So now with perfect shield, instead of it being on the shield coming out that you perfect shield if you time it right, it's on dropping your shield. If you already had it up and you drop it at the exact time that you get hit by an attack, you perfect shield it. And not only do you perfect shield it now, you also kind of parry, you kind of stun them a bit so you can follow it up. And the stronger their move is, the more stunned they will be. So it's kind of like a counter in a way. So this is like pretty cool. It's like it's sort of like higher risk, higher reward, I guess, but it's like on the drop down. So like if you're early on it, you're gonna get punished, but if you're late, then you won't get punished because you'll still be in shield. So it's the opposite of what it was, where if you were late on the shield before, you would get punished. You would just get hit, your shield wouldn't come out, but if you were early, you would shield it. So it's like it doesn't actually make it like harder, it makes it opposite. So I don't know if buffing it this much is like going to actually be a good thing. Like perfect shielding can be like kind of detrimental to the competitive scene sometimes. If players can do it really consistently now, like if it somehow becomes easier, people really practice it, it's like, I don't know what we could see with it, but it seems like it's still hard enough to where nobody can get it consistently, so it seems like it should just be fine, which will be cool. I do like it. It looks amazing, so that's a really interesting new feature. So a completely new mechanic that is like really cool is whatever you want to call it. It's pivot attacks, or reverse ground rush attacks, or just reverse ground rush, or skid canceling, or just the fact that you can attack immediately out of your full run now. And if you skid, if you turn around, if you pivot, then and use an attack right after that, it'll cancel the skid. So it's not really like a new technique. It's quite easy. So it's just something that gives more quality of life and is faster. And it really changes a lot because it really benefits ground-based fighters quite a bit, and I think it really changes the entire dynamic of the way competitive Smash is going to be played. It's like we do have a technical buff to aerial attacks in that they're slightly faster and they auto out-cancel basically, which is big. That's very big. So aerial combat is benefited in that way, but historically aerial combat has been the go-to because it's quicker, and you can from your run you can jump and attack no matter what, and now you can use a ground attack. You can pivot and use an attack, whatever. So this is really cool. It's gonna have this nice little contrast of like aerial combat is improved and so is ground combat, so like pick your poison, both are good, do whatever you like as a player, and I think that's really cool. It'll be interesting to see if like ground combat becomes a lot more prevalent, which I imagine it would, which would be cool. It's like, why not? Aerial moves are very good, so like why not benefit ground moves like this? I like it. And in addition to that, this it completely replaces perfect pivoting. That's basically not a technique anymore because you can just cancel. Like this is the same thing basically. It's like skid canceling, quote unquote, is perfect pivoting. It's just now you can perfect pivot with anything, which is cool. Alright, so now let's transition over into the Smash 4 things. So we're gonna go kind of more lightning speed on this. So one thing is that dash dancing is improved from Smash 4. It's not melee-esque dash dancing, but apparently it's easier to do and it's better. So this varies from character to character, obviously depending on their initial runs, how far they go, and whatever. It's always been like that. But now, and if you don't know, dash dancing is when you just flick the control stick back and forth and you repeatedly do your initial dash over and over to just like dash in place really fast. It allows you to just have more momentum to where if you were standing still, you couldn't run as quickly as somebody, and this allows you to kind of juke your opponent or kind of get them into a little mind game. So it's really nice. It's just like a nice little cool thing that like adds a little bit of depth, and like isn't too hard and like doesn't add like anything crazy, and it's just a nice little thing to have, and I think everybody likes it. So it'd be cool to see if dash dancing actually becomes like an actual thing you can do because it's easier. So that's really cool. I liked it a lot. And then in addition to that, we have this is something people generally don't like, and that's that shielding body blocks people. Like you can't run through somebody who's shielding, which like this might be a bug. They might change it, maybe it's not, maybe it's intentional, and if so, then I think that's kind of unfortunate, but you can still like jump over somebody who's shielding, so not too big of a deal, but it does kind of like counter that that ground movement that I was talking about with the pivoting, so that's something to take note of. And then in addition to that, we've got Rage is still present from Smash 4, which I'm super bummed about. I don't enjoy Rage as a mechanic. I think a lot of players agree with that. Some players like it, but you know, in general, I think it's damaging, but it is weaker, apparently. Apparently it is a lot weaker, which makes sense because when I was watching, I felt like characters should have died more than they did, and maybe that's attributed to Rage. So that's good that they weakened it. Apparently character models will now start glowing with Rage around 120 instead of previously 100, even though Rage does take effect around 35. But we'll have to wait and see like what the numbers are and do all the science for it to actually figure out the full extent of Rage in this game. And then we've got apparently simultaneous grabs bounce off of each other, so they just kind of counter each other, which is like, okay. And 1v1s have more damage than multiplayer matches at a multiple of like I think 1.2 or something. Don't quote me on that, but that's like kind of cute. It's like I think it's good. It's not less applicable to 1v1s like people are saying. It's more applicable to doubles. It's like I feel like they just would have increased the damage to what they felt was more appropriate for this game to that anyway, but then they decided, oh hey, but for multi-battles we should tone it down. And so I think this matters more for doubles and multi-battles, and I think that's really cool. I think making double battles like more strategic and more slow-paced is a good thing. That's more of like what that format should be about, I think. And then in addition to that, apparently Smash DI is weaker, which is terrible. Hopefully this isn't true, but if it is, then Bayo combos are going to be even more ridiculous, and there's going to be like some crazy stuff with like Pikachu's new Nair looks crazy, and like as like Lucas's Nair or Mewtwo's Nair like are buffed, but hopefully this is like something that's changed. But I mean, if not, it's like okay, like hopefully DI is buffed, or like even if not, it's like okay, this does increase combos in the game, but Smash DI is really fun, but it is extremely difficult. So I don't know if they really want it to be like as prevalent as it used to be, which I think is good. And it was even really prevalent in Smash 4. And I think it is something that's sort of hidden from players. It's like something you can't visibly see. Commentators don't talk about it a ton. They do, but not like a whole lot. So, and like I said, it's difficult and it's not talked about too much. So I think taking it out is good, but we just need countermeasures for some of the crazy stuff that could come about without Smash DI. And then apparently regular DI is less effective on throws specifically, which apparently doesn't matter much because of the increased knockback. Apparently throws have less follow-ups, but I think that streamlines throw combos, which is kind of cute but could create issues. And like I kind of like throw mix-ups, but we'll have to see how that goes. Just want to get our hands on it. And apparently now you can tech footstools on the ground. So that basically removes every single footstool combo the crazy footstool combo that you've seen in Smash 4, which I guess they wanted to do. Like some of those are kind of crazy and they're so hard to pull off that it's like why even have them. So I think that's okay. Like, but it's just kind of sad to see footstool combos go away. But I guess footstool is inherently supposed to be just a weird gimp option off the stage. So we'll keep it at that. And in addition to that, it looks like mostly, like most tech from Smash 4 is reintroduced in this game, like jump cancel up smash and ledge trumping and out of shield options are like all the same. So that's cool. It's like apparently the ledge is entirely the same as it is in Smash 4. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, guys, because I am going to be doing an analysis on like every character's new mechanics, every character's new moveset, and really diving deep into, like this video did, into the new features in Smash 5. And then I am going to be playing the shit out of that game. I'm so excited. It looks so dope. And we're just going to have to wait and see how everything pans out. And make sure to like this video, share it, and I love you guys. Peace.